American Express sucks. Bold statement, I know. But by the end of this video, I think you're going to understand exactly why I feel this way, and more importantly, why it matters to you, especially if you're looking at the Amex Platinum right now, and especially if you're new to the whole points and miles space to begin with. Because when you think about Chase or Citi, you think bank, boring. When you think American Express, though, you think travel, luxury, status. So, of course, that's where your eyes go whenever you first start getting into credit cards. But here's the thing, most people who get the Amex Platinum card are leaving hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, and then hundreds of thousands of points on the table without ever realizing it. And that's a problem. In fact, I've got 5 problems with the Amex Platinum and American Express as a whole, and they build on each other, so stick with me. And my name's Michael, by the way. I try my best to give you practical points and miles insights and strategies without the hype. And if that sounds good to you, go ahead and hit subscribe, and let's get into problem number 1. And that's that you're burning bridges before you even start. American Express has what's called family rules, and if you've never heard of this term, it's the first thing you need to understand before you touch an American Express card. Here's how it works. Say you apply for the Amex Platinum and get approved. Now let's say a few months later someone tells you about the Amex Gold or the Amex Green card. You go to apply, and here's where it stings. You are no longer eligible for that sign-up bonus on either of those cards. Now, if you don't know what a sign-up bonus is, it's the large chunk of points that you earn after hitting the minimum spending requirement within a certain window of time. For example, the Amex Green gives you 40,000 points after spending $3,000 in 6 months, and sign-up bonuses are the single most efficient way to rack up massive amounts of points quickly. So what does this actually cost you? Well, the Amex Green bonus, like I said, is 40,000 points. The Amex Gold can go as high as 100,000 points, and so already that's 140,000 points gone. And only if you apply to a card in the wrong order. And this doesn't stop at the personal cards from Amex. The Delta family of cards has the same rules. If you have the Delta Platinum, you're locked out of the Delta Gold bonus. Same story with the Marriott cards. In fact, Hilton has been the exception so far, but that may eventually change, only time will tell. So the first issue is really just about order of operations, but even if you get the sequence right, the Platinum itself has something of a built-in trap that most people don't see coming, and this leads to problem number 2. It's that you're unknowingly kind of signing up for a part-time job. See, the American Express Platinum has an annual fee of $895, but Amex is quick to tell you that it comes with over $3,000 in value, and technically that's true, so what's the catch? Well, first of all, almost none of those benefits come to you automatically. You typically have to activate those. And they come as credits, and they're stacked across every possible time interval to make them as easy to forget as possible. You've got monthly credits with Uber, Walmart, and digital entertainment. You've got quarterly credits with Resi and Lululemon. You've got semi-annual hotel credits with specific hotel programs provided by American Express. And then you've also got annual airline fee credits, Clear Plus credit, Aura Ring credit, Equinox, Uber One. Is that different from the monthly Uber? That's something else you have to find out. So to actually get the $3,000 in value, you have to track all of it every month, every quarter, every half year, every year. And most people don't. It's either too annoying to stay on top of, or they're not spending money with those brands anyways, so the credits just expire unused. And even for the people who do embrace it, they're locked into a set of spending habits with a specific set of vendors, which could lead to overspending in areas of life that maybe you didn't really intend to. And eventually you might get to the point where you ask yourself, did you get this card to maximize the amount you travel, or are you getting this card to really maximize its benefits? And now this quantization of benefits here isn't unique to the Amex Platinum. You see it a little bit in the Amex Gold and other brands under the Amex umbrella, like with Delta, Hilton, and Marriott. And this pattern is also spreading to other premium cards outside of Amex, like the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Not because it's beneficial to you, albeit, but because it's a moneymaker for these banks. And look, I'll play ball here. Maybe you're okay with all of that. Maybe you're really organized and you get a rush using every single credit. But here's the thing most people don't realize until they're already deep in it. After all that effort of setting up and tracking those benefits, you're probably barely ever going to swipe the card itself, which leads to problem number 3 with the Amex Platinum that people don't know, is that you're not supposed to actually use this card. Here's where it gets a little ironic. You're paying $895 a year for this card, and most people in the points and miles space is going to tell you that they almost never actually swipe it or use it. You see, the Platinum earns 5x points on flights and 5x points on prepaid hotels through Amex Travel, their travel portal. Everything else earns 1 point per dollar. So the general recommendation is that you use this card to book flights to get 5x points, and then you use it to burn through your credits, and then you store it away safely. Because if you want to actually earn points on your day-to-day spending, you've got better cards out there. The Amex Gold earns 4x points on dining and groceries. The Amex Green earns 3x points across various travel categories, including Airbnbs, cruises, rental cars, etc. The Amex Business Blue earns 2x points on everything for up to $50,000 per year. And if you want to step outside Amex, the City Strata Premier gives you 3x on gas, groceries, and dining for just a modest $95 annual fee. You see, people see the big price tag and automatically assume it's the best card to use for everything. But that couldn't be further from the truth. And so this may lead you to ask the question, why do people even get this card if they don't use it on a daily basis? And that is a great question and an important one to ask, and part of the reason for this video. The answer for many people in the points and miles world is truly to get the sign-up bonus, which is typically large. Currently, it's advertised as high as 175,000 points. And then some people keep it truly because they enjoy the benefits and they utilize them and they get genuine value from them. But more often than not, many people choose to cancel the card or downgrade the card after a year or two after getting the bonus. And that last part is actually where things get interesting, because if the sign-up bonus is the big reason most people get this card, you think that'd make things simple. Well, think again, because now we're at problem number 4. Historically, a card like the Amex Platinum would advertise a specific sign-up bonus, like 150,000 points. That's what you get if you're improved. Clean and simple. But now they're using this as high as language, such as high as 175,000 points for the Platinum, as high as 100,000 points for the Gold. And so what this is meaning is that when you submit your application and before they do a hard pull on your credit, they tell you what bonus you're actually going to be offered if you're approved. It could be the max of 100,000 points for the Gold, or it could be less, 50,000, 60,000. And you can either accept it or decline it. And declining the offer has no effect on your credit, so that's good. But this is still a bit frustrating because you have to complete the entire application first. Then you, of course, want the highest bonus possible, but it may take a while to get it. And there's no real secret formula or suggestions to get the highest bonus possible that I've found. You're simply supposed to check the bonus that you're offered. Some say to try referral links. That tends to give you higher bonuses. Or try that same referral link or other links on Google via incognito mode on a browser. And sometimes that may lead to a different higher bonus. And then some people say to wait 2 weeks, some people say wait a month, and all this advice is anecdotal, honestly. And so some people get the max offer eventually, some don't. Eventually, it'll probably put you in the position of deciding what bonus is good enough. Is 90,000 good enough, or should I keep trying for the 100,000? What about 80,000? What about 70,000? So this isn't a deal breaker on its own, but it's another layer of complexity added by American Express, and this was just recently rolled out to its Delta cards as well. So I'm sure in time this will be a common occurrence across many more of their cards. But let's say you get through all of that and you land a bonus that you're happy with. You've now got a pile of points sitting there, and that's where a lot of people find out the hard way that having points and knowing how to use them are two very different things. And that's where problem number 5 hits. See, redeeming points is harder than it looks. And truthfully, that's not unique to Amex. I made a whole YouTube channel dedicated to teaching people how to redeem points of all kinds. It's a skill that takes time to master. But the problem I have with Amex when it comes to redeeming points is that there's no quality off-ramp. If you ever need to cash out your Amex points as a statement credit or a gift card, when things go sideways, you're typically getting around 60 to 70 cents per dollar. The one exception here is with the Amex Platinum from Schwab, which lets you cash out up to 1 million points a year at 1.1 cents per point. But that card still costs $895 per year, and it typically comes with a lesser sign-up bonus. And most people don't even know it exists. So for the vast majority of cardholders, that exit just isn't pretty. But let's put that aside. If you're not trying to cash out and you just want to use your points for travel like we intend to, you've got a couple of options. If you use Amex's travel portal, you'll get the face value of your points, but the portal doesn't always have the best pricing compared to booking directly. So you're not losing points, you're just risking overpaying for the trip itself. To actually multiply the value of your points, you need to transfer them to one of American Express's transfer partners. That's where the real value is. But that also requires learning a new skill, a different way of thinking about how to book travel. It's not hard once you know it, but it's not what most people expect when they sign up for what looked like a straightforward premium travel card. Now, there is still one more rule that Amex has out there working against you. Many cards out there let you get a sign up bonus for a specific card repeatedly after 2 or 4 years if you cancel and then reapply. Amex in their fine print tells you that you can earn a sign up bonus only once in a lifetime for most of their cards. But in practice, people have gotten bonuses more than once, usually around 7 years. Does that lifetime reset? And then additionally, every so often, Amex will release what are called NLL offers in the community, or no lifetime language is what that stands for, where that specific fine print isn't in the terms. So this rule isn't set in stone like most rules, but it's yet another thing to know before you go in. So that's how Amex has engineered itself to work more in their favor than yours. So should you avoid Amex entirely? Well, no, that's not the point I'm trying to make in this video. The point is American Express has built one of the most well-engineered card ecosystems in the industry. Everything about it, the status, the credits, the as high as bonuses, the family rules, it's designed to maximize what they get from you. And they put a limit on virtually every avenue of maximization on the part of the consumer, you and I. And there's nothing technically wrong with this, I guess, as long as you understand what you're getting into. The people who gain the most with American Express know the rules before they apply. They know which cards to get first and in what order. They know which credits they'll actually use. They know how to transfer points and get outsized value out of them. The people who lose are the ones who saw the platinum in an airport on a YouTube ad and applied before they understood any of this. But you now know enough not to be that person. So if you're interested in learning more about American Express points, you'll probably want to check out either these videos. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.